Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today to learn more about using iHomefinder IDX with WordPress. My name is Hank Hansen here with the marketing team, and I have Don Durham on the line who's going to provide an excellent demo in a little bit here. And first, before we kick things off, I want to go through some basics of using GoToWebinar platform. You'll see that you can open and hide the control panel with that little orange toggle there. You can join audio with the telephone or mic options, and your phone or mic is muted. However, you are welcome to submit questions along the way in the questions panel. We are going to have a Q&A session after the presentation, and we'd like to answer your questions there. If we're not able to get to all of them, we will certainly follow up afterwards. But please do enter your questions along the way as they come up. And finally, the webinar is being recorded. So we will share that link with everyone by the end of the day tomorrow. So our goal today is really to get you up to speed on some basics that will give you a solid foundation for getting the most from your IDX features on your site. There are a lot of features we can cover, but we have a limited amount of time today. So we're going to cover the basics, make sure you understand those, and we'll definitely be taking a closer look at specific features in future webinars. When we're done today, you'll definitely know what's needed to start experimenting and adding more IDX content to your site. So our agenda is to quickly review your IDX control panel, what it's used for, how to access it, your WordPress dashboard, quickly go over when you use that versus when you use your IDX control panel. And Don has a great demo, as I mentioned, where we will demonstrate what we're talking about here. We have some resources to share with you at the end, and then we'll follow up with our Q&A session. So let's jump into the IDX control panel. Most of you are probably familiar with the IDX control panel. A lot of people get accounts with us and don't know that it exists, so it's a really important thing to know about. It is the command center for your iHomefinder account. It's where you control many aspects of what's going on in your account, including customizations of how the search works, accessing your leads, entering information about your leads, all kinds of things. We have a number of different guides that walk you through everything you do in the IDX control panel. Many of our setup guides refer to different steps that you take in the IDX control panel. So it's an important thing to get familiar with. And we're going to get into some specifics in it today. In our step-by-step guides, you'll find them on our website, www.ihomefinder.com. Just select resources and select support, and you'll find our quick start guides there, which really get you going with most commonly used features in our account. And like I mentioned, those will refer to different steps you'll take in your IDX control panel. And one of the big things you do in your IDX control panel is create saved searches, which we call markets. And then you can use that listing data and market data throughout your site in a number of different ways, which is what we're going to be showing you today. So once you've created a market in your control panel, you have a URL produced for that, which you can copy and add to your site navigation. And you can embed markets, different aspects of market information within pages and posts. So we're going to talk about those as well. And to access your IDX control panel with a WordPress site, it's very easy. You just log into your WordPress dashboard, go to the Optima Express menu, and select IDX control panel. And we're going to take a look at the WordPress dashboard really quickly here. As most of you probably know, the WordPress dashboard is where you manage your website and your blog, pretty much all aspects of it. And you can add and edit pages and posts, obviously. And this is also where you will be modifying your website menus. So if you have created markets in your IDX control panel, you want to quickly get people to those, through your site navigation. This is how you do it in your WordPress dashboard. You'll add a link to a market. There's also a number of IDX pages provided with your account that you don't create. They are already there, and you can add links to those as well if you don't already have links to those. And you will actually see those IDX pages listed in your WordPress dashboard by going to the Optimum Express menu and selecting IDX pages. As you can see, we have on the screen here, we have the link for the Property Organizer login. So that's Property Organizer is a place where people can save their favorite searches and listings and come back to them and rate them, add comments for themselves. So it encourages them to use your site as their portal, so to speak, for their search. So you can see there's a number of other pages listed there as well that you'd want to make sure you're providing links to throughout your site. And with that introduction, we will jump into a demo and talk about creating markets and then using that market information on your site in a number of different ways. So I'm going to hand it over to Don here. Don, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Don, I'm going to switch over to you.
Okay. Okay. You should be able to see my screen now, correct? Hank?
Yeah, looks good, Don.
Okay. So today I'm going to take you through creating a market. So this is your standard when you log into your iHomefinder control panel. So I'm going to take you through creating the market page, and then I'm going to demonstrate how to add that market page to your website. So first off, when you log into your IDX control panel, you would go to Markets here at the top. This will load the market page. Click on Add a Market. This account is using Eureka. So if you have Eureka, you will have the Eureka map to be able to display on the markets. Otherwise, you'll have a basic search form. So you would just go ahead and give your market a name, and you have your different types. You just leave that selected as Eureka. You can go ahead and enter for testing purposes or for this purposes. I'm going to go ahead and add in the city of Auburn here. So Auburn has 221 results. That's quite a lot. So I'm going to refine that down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and select this More option here, and I'm going to choose homes that all have a that all have a garage and that also have a pool. So I'm going to check those off. So now you'll see that my results have been limited to 58. So this is how you would get more of an advanced search that's predefined on your website. So I'm going to go ahead and save my market. So saving the market will create the market page, which the market page actually acts as a market report and a listing gallery and an open home report. And I'll show you how those come into play soon. So first, if we want to go ahead and demonstrate just adding the listing report to our website. So I'm going to go ahead and launch just click that view page link, which will bring me to the market report. The listing report on the market page. And you'll see all of the listings here. So I'm just going to copy this URL and go into my WordPress dashboard. So this is just the WordPress dashboard. And to add it to my menu, I would just go to Appearance and go to Menus. Okay. And on the side, you'll have some options. Since this is a custom page and it's not actually a page within your WordPress, you would go ahead and use custom links. You would give it a name. Just call it Auburn for test and go ahead and link to that, and then just click the Add to Menu button. What this does is it will automatically add it to the bottom of the menu. Now, I want this to actually be under my communities page as a sublink, so I'm going to go ahead and move this. I'm just going to drag and drop it up under my communities page here, and then I would just save the menu. Once that's saved, we can see on the WordPress site, on the website, that it now displays under the communities page. So when I go to this page, what it does is it creates this market page. Each market page has 3 different reports. So if you have Market Boost, they'll have the listings, which are anything that contain or that fit any listings that are active that fit the search criteria that you specified. You also have the open homes report and the market report as well. And they just display different data based on your search. The market report, the open homes will display any listings for the upcoming open houses, and the market report will just display some basic market data. And this data is accumulated as you go. So that would be adding the market to your website, our market page to your website. Now you can also embed this content by using shortcodes. And to access our shortcode selector, what you would do is go to the Optima Express menu and go to shortcodes. So our shortcode selector allows you to add all the various different IDX content to your website without a lot of trouble of going back and forth and making and trying to. It allows you to easily add it to your page. So this particular account is using a broker account. So some of these options might vary depending on what type of account you have. But this is using a broker account with Eureka and Market Boost. So these options would be available. The market, so the broker tab would be just a quick way for you to display things about your agents that are added to the system, the agents' bios, their like an office roster or an agent roster. The IDX pages allow you to add various contact forms or registration forms to your website, so like for the property organizer and the valuation form, so that leads can easily, so if you wanted to create a custom page and add these to them, you could. The search also is where you would find the quick search widget, which is a pretty common popular item. So you would just actually select the quick search widget, and then you can choose your style. Each one of these displays in a different style. And then and same thing with the search. If you wanted to add, this would be adding the map search to a custom page. You can, the listings, this is where you would actually display the market page that we created. So I'm going to come back to this one, but the leads here, the lead section is also another spot for you to add lead capture to various pages within your website. So for the sake of demo purposes, I'm going to go ahead and choose the listings tab. So I'm going to demo how to add this the market page to a custom page within your website. So the listing gallery would display in a listing grid format. So you would have the listings that is displayed here, just like this, how the listings are in a grid format. That's how the listing gallery displays. The gallery slider would actually display in a slider format that allows, that's just a quick slider that gives you some customization options, and you can add that to your website. The market report, actually, all that does is displays the same market report, and each market report has these 3 tabs, but it would actually just display this page first. So if you want to display the listings, you would choose the listing gallery, and then you would go to listing report is what we're going to do for sake of demo purposes today. So as you can see, when I select these options, and each various option has another menu that will open up here, and you can select from the drop-down menu. You'll see the market that we created already show up here. You'll then pick your sorting options, and you can limit the page to a number of results if you would like, but just click copy to clipboard. What that does is that just copies the shortcode to your clipboard, and we would go to pages to create a new page and go to new page. Once, so I'm going to go ahead and give my new page a title here. I'm going to call this one Auburn. Excuse me about that.
Yeah, and the great thing about this in a custom page is you're able to add whatever other content you want to the page. So this is definitely the way to go for helping give your SEO a boost, because you'll be able to target keywords in your website copy, the page copy, and the URL will be able to customize. Basically, every aspect of the page you can control because it's a custom page you're building, and then the dynamic IDX content is embedded within the page.
Absolutely, yes. This is definitely a better SEO route if you want to add content-based SEO and to have more control over the page. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and add the shortcode by, this is the default WordPress editor. So your editor may vary a little bit depending on your options and depending on what your theme is using. But most often you should have the default editor. So you can go ahead and click Add Shortcode and then just paste in the shortcode that we selected from the shortcode selector. And if I wanted to
people should remember they never have to type this code. They just copy paste it.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, you should never have to type this code. So if I wanted to go ahead and then add content to this page, I can just have my shortcode here. And if I want to add it above, you'll see another text block that actually comes up. I can just click on Add Block. And if I wanted to add some text, I would go ahead and just click Paragraph. I have some text here that I can add. And I'm going to go ahead and add in another block and to add in an image. Just to give my page a little bit of content. So I can select directly from the media library. And you'll see I'll have some images here. I can go ahead and add in a caption or the alt text here if I would like, or I can also do that on the page, or I can add in some caption down here, in the alt text over here. You can also adjust the image size manually just by dragging things around, or you can use these the defaults over here to give it, if you wanted to display in a percentage, so that would be like 100%. I can also create a link. So if I wanted to link this image to something, I can just go ahead and choose link, and then I can put in anything that I wanted here.
Wonderful. And it's important to remind people that depending on what theme you're using, and if you have an OmniPress website from us, same thing applies. Your page builder will look different depending on the theme you're using. We're currently looking at Divi Builder, as you may have noticed.
Yeah, it's a slightly different version. Let's see, and once I'm done creating the content of my page, I would just go ahead and publish that. And then you can just view the page by clicking the link. And it would create the URL, but you would see that it has the image that I created along with my text, and the listing report would display below using the shortcode. So now if I wanted to add this page to my menu, I would actually go ahead and just go back to Appearance and go to Menus again. And as you can see, because it's a page created within WordPress, it now shows up under my Pages section. I can just tick the box, click Add to Menu, and it would populate again on my menu, and I can drag and drop that wherever I want that to remain, or where to sit on my menu. And I can go ahead and save that. And then as you can see, these links would then now appear under Communities. So, and so I can use that, and I can build, so I could create the page create exactly that and have my content actually here. And as you can see, like if I click this, I can link to Google, as I just created for the image link, and I can have that open in a new window if I want, just by the various options within the editor. And again, you can edit all of your pages, your existing pages, by just going to Pages and then All Pages. And I believe that's what I was going to demo today, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much, Don. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll pass this back over to you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just give us a moment here, folks, and we'll get our slides back here. Okay, so to wrap up, you can link to IDX pages that are provided with your account, as well as the pages that are produced when you create a market in your IDX control panel. And you can also use short codes to embed your market pages into pages and posts. And embedding IDX into pages using short codes gives you more control if you're really focused on SEO and getting custom content into custom pages. And you can focus on specific keywords in your website copy, your page copy, if you're targeting specific keywords for a page. And short codes work in blog posts as well, so don't forget about your blog. Using what we've shown you today, the same concepts apply to a blog post. So you could really quickly create a blog post with some introductory text and a picture, and insert some IDX content into that post. And then why not share that post in your social channels and get into a schedule of doing that regularly. You can do this really, really quickly, and it can really help over time, really make a difference in driving traffic to your site, getting more traffic, and feeding your sales funnel. And experimenting with all the stuff is really easy. There's no way to break anything. You can create a testing page on your site and start experimenting with the short codes after you've created a market, and start learning your way around the different options for using your market listings and your market data in pages and posts. A couple of resources I want to point out, as we mentioned earlier in the slides, our support center has all kinds of resources. We have quick start guides, which include links to step-by-step articles, which are searchable in our knowledge base. You can jump right into the knowledge base and search articles. And we have videos there. We do have a YouTube channel. You can access videos in our YouTube channel from our support center. You can also make sure you reach out to support if you have any questions and need help. Support at iHomefinder.com is their email. You can call them also at 866-700-8855 extension 1. And the second big resource is if you're still getting up to speed with WordPress in general, there's free WordPress tutorials on WP101.com. This URL here will get you to a great collection of tutorials. All right, we're going to jump into our Q&A session here. If you just give me a moment, I need to take a look at what questions have come in, and I'll be right back. Okay, thanks for holding, everyone. Hey, Don, we had a question. Can searches or save searches or markets, can they use polygon drawing on a map to build a market?
Yes, absolutely. The Eureka search, the Eureka Markets has it built in for if you're on an account that is not using Eureka, you would actually have a separate option under the type section to create a polygon search. So Eureka has it built in. Otherwise, you have to select it as a type, but there is a pencil icon on the map that you click, and you can set your points to create a polygon search.
Great. Yep. And as an add-on to that question, we had a question about search criteria details. So the different criteria that are available for refining search options depends on the MLS and and if that data is available to us from the MLS. If you're not finding specific search criteria that you'd like to have for your MLS, please contact our support department, because there's a good chance we can add it for you. Let's see. And we're going to look at some other questions here. Just give me one moment here. Someone was asking about the options for lead capture and how they work. Our support department, again, can definitely help you with that. Please reach out to them. They'd be happy to walk you through your lead capture options. That was from Michael. Thank you for that. And Will had a question. If a customer market page is created using a shark code, it will have the sign up for listing alerts button. Should organizer login widget be added, or is this redundant with the alerts button? They both achieve the same thing. If someone signs up for listing alerts, they are going to have a property organizer created. So the benefit of having property organizer login on your site is that people can quickly get into that to access the things that they've saved. Anything else that you can think of, Don, related to that?
No, I think you covered it. I'm pretty sure that would be redundant in order to have both of those on the same page.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Vicky.
Also to add to that a little bit, sorry, to add to that just for a little bit was that whenever somebody signs up for a form, any of the forms should automatically also have a link for them to automatically, like for returning users. So when they sign up for the form, there's a spot for them to enter their login to log back in. So if they've already been on the site and they're wanting to save a search again, they would just be able to sign in on the form, on the listing alerts form.
Okay, great, thank you. Question from Ed, can you make the map search larger? On the samples that I looked at, the page was divided in half and the map size was pretty small. Do you want to take that one, Don?
Yeah, absolutely. So that all actually depends on the theme. So if you're using a full width, so for the search page, you can definitely use a full width page and display it in that format. A lot of our styles have a lot of, if you're using an OmniPress account, a lot of our styles actually have the map on a full width page. But otherwise, you would just have to adjust under the IDX page section. You would have to just adjust the page template that's being used to make it to a full width page.
Okay, great, thank you. Question from Camille, how do I remove the contact form on the search page? I think that could depend on what the scenario is. Is that correct, Don?
Yeah, there's usually only a save search button. If you're seeing a contact form, it may be part of a sidebar or something else that's adding that element to the page. I would definitely just recommend reaching out to support. They could definitely help you do that.
Yeah, we just want to make sure we understand the scenario there. It could be sidebar, in which case, yeah, you certainly should be able to do that. Let's see. Got a question from Vicky about multiple listings showing up because they have data from two boards. Vicky, yeah, do reach out to our support team. They can answer that for you. Thank you for that. And let me see if we got all the questions here. This one's from Will. When someone signs up for listing market open house alerts, these are the subscriptions that are available. When you have Market Boost, you have listings, you have open homes, and market reports. And people can subscribe individually to those to receive updates. The question is if they only receive info for that specific market. The answer to that is yes. So if you have multiple markets created, somebody subscribes to listings or open homes or market data for a given market, they're only going to receive information for that specific market, not all the markets you've created in your account. And there's an extension to that question. So they have to click on the link for each market. So they're interested in, yeah, if a consumer is on your site and they want to subscribe themselves to different reports, they would have to individually subscribe to those reports. If you have a lead or client and you've been communicating with, and you know what's appropriate for them to receive as far as subscriptions to your markets, you can add them yourself manually. There's a way to do that in bulk as well. So if you have a list of people with their email addresses, you can add them as subscribers in one step to a given market. And then last question from Sharon, will you be hosting any lead capture webinars in the near future? Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to talk more about lead capture and all the different options there are, some of the best practices based on what we've been seeing from how people are using their accounts. So for sure. Yeah, thank you for that, Sharon. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up for our Q&A. If you had something that we didn't get to, please reach out to us, let us know, and we're happy to answer any additional questions you may have. And we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.